What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. I've got a good one. We are in front of Magistrate Carter in the state of Michigan, and we have the return of the Whiny attorney. If you guys remember, about a year ago, give or take, about a year ago, I covered this attorney, and he used the time where he was supposed to be advocating for a client to jump on his soapbox and proceed to throw the entire courthouse that he was in under the bus. Now he's back, and yep, he does kind of the same thing. Except instead of the courthouse, he decides to go after every single magistrate in the state of Michigan. Yeah, it gets wild. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
I just didn't see it in my.
Magistrate Carter,
Hi there, can you hear me?
I can. I have my client with me, which I can turn the computer to her shortly, and I also have the co-defendant present who's here for his arraignment. I'm not his attorney, but he's going to use our computer for his arraignment. So I'm just letting you know he's present as well.
Okay.
What's your list? Inzikowski.
Okay. The next one, Michael Edward Idakowski. All right, thank you for that. Okay, Susan Jane Hattendorf, we're here for purposes of arraignment, and we're live on the record in case 24-4527 SM. You're zooming in with your attorney, Mr. Williams. We also have the assistant prosecutor, Ms. Wandmacher, on Zoom with us as well. Mr. Williams, have you had an opportunity to review the allegations in the complaint, the nature of the offense, and the maximum possible penalty associated with your client?
Oh, yes, I have, and my client will stand mute and ask the court to enter a not guilty plea, and she will waive a formal reading into the record of the allegation.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, Ms. Hattendorf, I have a mailing address of 5922 and your telephone number ending 5195.
That's also correct.
Okay, do you have an email address you utilize?
Yes, gallery blind.
And is that gallery blind? No, okay.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, the next step in the process is going to be a pretrial conference that will entail you and your attorney appearing in person at the courthouse in Bel Air. Mr. Williams, the next date I have available is August 13th. Otherwise, we're looking at August 27th.
Can we take, you said August 13th?
Correct.
I'll let's just stay with that, and then if I need to adjourn it, because I think I'm gonna have something that's gonna move. Can we just stay with that for now, please?
Certainly. So we'll notice it for August 13th at 8 a.m. And
Oh.
that will be at 8 a.m. in person at the courthouse here in Bel Air. As to bond, I'm going to set this at a $5,000 PR bond. Ms. Hattendorf, do you have any plans to travel outside the state of Michigan this summer or early fall?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. I'm going to ask that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the named victim in this case. No contact means no contact.
I have
Is
no
it,
problem with
Mr. Williams, is it going to be a problem for her to stay 500 yards or more away from the victim in the victim's residence?
Well, yeah, the property, yes, it will be a problem. They live next to each other, so I would suggest that she will not have contact. And frankly, I would suggest that the prosecutor's office read this case. This was authorized prior to their inheriting it, and it's one of the most absurd cases I've ever seen, and I'm being serious. So, my client's
Okay,
never been in trouble. This is a unique situation, to putting it politely. So they live next to each other. My client was actually in Florida during the winter, and
yes, when this was authorized. That's
Yeah.
why I asked about the travel. And I also have read this, and it is ridiculous. And I think I'm looking at it from a different way, but we're not going to try the case here right.
All right. Now, anyone else really want to hear what happened? I need the details now. We're not going to hear them in this arraignment. They waived the reading. But the magistrate is agreeing with the defense attorney that this is a ridiculous case. But it's about to go downhill. We got to get the regular stuff out of the way. It's about to get excited when the magistrate starts giving the bond conditions, and that's when the attorney, that's when he comes out.
Now. But anyway, so you may go to your residence, you may go in and out of your residence, but if the neighbors are out, you need to go in. You don't make eye contact, don't wave. You need to
well, I would
leave
say
them
that
alone.
if she's sitting on her own property, as long as they're not making eye contact with each other, there's no authority the courts. She enjoys the benefit of her property. She lives there. And she can't be ordered not to go inside her own house. I mean, she lives there. So
12-foot wall between.
there's a 12-foot wall that they built between the neighboring properties. So if I would just
Well,
ask.
I'm glad there's a wall there, but there's also a beach area. And if the neighbors are out enjoying their beach area, defendant is not to be out there at the same time. Okay, that is an order.
Well, I would object to that and say the court has literally zero authority to do that. And
Mr. Williams, I'll invite you to schedule a bond hearing.
that's fine. We can do that. But she'll abide by the order. But I mean, this is a civil case, and to treat this and to order people criminally to deprive them of their property benefits is unconstitutional.
Mr. Williams, I want to tell you something. We didn't randomly select this defendant to have to endure this situation. Okay, I hear you trying the case. There's some menacing, and we're not going to get into the facts of the case. Defendant is defendant, and defendant is going to have to deal with this or move from the property. It's as simple as that. You're also, Ms. Hattendorf, going to remain respectful of all court staff, any service or care providers that you encounter during the pendency of the case. You're not to use or possess any weapons of any kind for any reason. And as far as the contact goes, if you have any questions, I'd ask you to address that right now.
No, Your Honor, I'm fine with that.
Okay, thank you for that.
I would point out to the court that the defendant carries the presumption of innocence, and the alleged victim in this case does not. So the defendant, who's being deprived of their property rights, who's the only innocent person in this situation.
Mr. Williams, I need you to stop trying the case right now, okay?
I'm
The
making a
defendant
record.
is the defendant because of the paperwork that was filed, and maybe we're not reading the same report. So this is the end of this. And any deprivation that's occurring, again, isn't because we randomly selected a person to have to lose their beach privileges, okay?
No, you didn't. In fact, the court, and frankly, I'm making a record is what I'm doing because I will file a bond motion. And frankly, the court hasn't complied with the court rule in setting bond or even justified its reasoning. So that's fine, but I'm making a record because courts and unfortunately magistrates frequently throughout the state set bonds that are unconstitutional and are frankly legally wrong. So I'm just making a record and that's all I'm doing. So
Woo! Yeah, yeah. Watch it there, buddy. Now she did say why she set the bond condition because there's an accusation of menacing. I heard it. But I don't know enough about Michigan law to be able to say if he's right or wrong, though. But I will tell you this: that sounds exactly like an Eric Martin argument. That was his reasoning for going home, even though he was told not to. He said it was unconstitutional to deprive him of his property rights. Just saying. I mean, could they be onto something? I don't know. No idea.
she has no criminal history. There's nothing in her background to suggest that she's menacing, dangerous, or anything. She's an adult female who's gone her entire life without any problems, and now the court is restricting her property rights based off of an allegation where she's actually presumed innocent. So I'm just making a proper record, that's all. So she'll abide by the bond conditions as set currently. But I do want this as a record, and I want it to be on a transcript. So when it's read by a higher court, they can see what occurred here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. All right. Thank you, Ms. Hattendorf. If you don't have anything else, you are free to leave the meeting.
I do have the co-defendant here if you want to speak to him, Your Honor.
So I do want to.
All right. So this is a weird situation, and so these two are together. The woman hired the attorney. He does not have an attorney. Mr. Williams is not representing him. They're in the same room. They both went to his office. It gets a little weird. I did keep his arraignment in here because Mr. Williams is not done yet. Yeah, it's just again, I want to know what happened here, but let's go.
Speak to the co-defendant. All right. And you're Michael Edward Idzikowski. Is it Idzikowski or Idzikowski? How do you pronounce that?
Idzikowski.
Idzikowski. Okay. Thank you, sir. We're on the record in case 24-4525 SM. You're zooming in this morning for purposes of arraignment. So, Mr. Idzikowski, we do have defense attorney, Mr. Connolly here. If you would like to break out and go over the allegations in the complaint, the nature of the offense, the maximum.
I can't break out with Mr. Idzikowski. I'm familiar with both of these defendants. They're living together. I'm not sure why one of them is being represented by Mr. Williams, and they're both there. But I know I happen to know quite a bit about this case, as Mr. Idzikowski showed up with an attorney as a victim, and a paid attorney was somehow allowed to meddle in criminal proceedings here in Antrim County when their client wasn't a party to the case. So no, I'm assuming Mr. Williams has talked to both of them. Maybe I'm incorrect, but they're a couple together in the same house with the same charges for the same behavior. So I'm assuming he has. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Thank you, Mr. Connolly. All right, Mr. Idzikowski, how would you like to proceed?
I'm not your attorney.
Mr. Idzikowski.
What are my options as far as how I may proceed?
You can plead not guilty. You can stand mute.
You may just want to reschedule Mr. Idzikowski for another arraignment date where there's a different arraignment attorney. I simply can't. I know too much about him and about this case to deal with it.
I wanted to plead not guilty.
I concur, and it's kind of awkward. I can hear somebody talking in the background. So, Mr. Idzikowski, we're going to renotice your arraignment to another date. I don't have that date available at this time. I have a mailing address of 5922 Mackenzie. Is that correct?
Correct.
And your telephone number is correct to enter 857.
Yes,
Do you have an email address you'd like to provide to the court?
yes, it is. I
Thank you, sir. All right, so we'll get this renoticed and mailed out, and it'll be by Zoom, just like this, and there are instructions if you'd like to call in.
Could I just say something, please? I'm not,
No,
well, I know
no.
you guys brought
I-
me up on this record with indigent MIDC. I'm not representing him. I know they live together. I told them he needs a separate attorney.
Mr. Williams, no, I realize that. He's not answering the questions. He doesn't have the benefit of counsel to assist him. I'm not
I
going
don't-
to hold his hand through this. And
No, I don't want
frankly,
to.
it sounded like his wife or girlfriend was telling him what to say. It's not appropriate. We're rescheduling it, and that's that. So
No,
I bid
I'm
you a
not
good
asking
afternoon.
you, I'm not asking you to proceed with this arraignment. I'm just saying, I don't know why MIDC or Mr. Conley brought me up regarding of course they live together.
Because you're
Because you're
sitting in the same
running-
room with them, Jesse. Why would you
Right.
think I'd bring you up? You're sitting in a conference room with both of them. They live together. It's the same case, the same charges. You're literally still sitting in there with someone who's not your client. So maybe that's why I brought you up.
But why, guys?
And you
Why?
won't stop talking and trying the case. It's as simple as that, and I'm going to remove you from this proceeding because we've completed what we needed to complete. And I hope you have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Ah, all right. First, he throws all the magistrates under the bus, and then that, in my opinion, that was a clear dig at that guy, calling him MDIC, like indigent counsel, MDIC. Why is he saying my name? But he kept saying it. I mean, that was unnecessary. And then he said his name, which is what he should have said in the first place. But yeah, I feel like that was a dig. Like, oh, I'm this prestige attorney. I'm not public defender. Anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I feel like this one's gonna get some fun responses in the comment section. But I really hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Please hit that thumbs up if you have not done it already. And that's it. That's all I got. Until next time, bye.
Thank you.